I've been lurking on this sub for years, never thinking I'd post my own story. Funny how life works out. It happened on a random Tuesday. Nothing special. April 16th. I remember because it was the day before our monthly bill payments, and I was doing our usual budget check. Mary, 37F, and I, 39M, have been married for 11 years. Solid marriage, or so I thought. We had our routines. She went to book club every Tuesday. I usually stayed late at work, catching up on whatever fell through the cracks. About 3 months ago, I left work early due to some server issues. The office sent everyone home around 2:30 p.m. On the way, I decided to swing by Costco. We were running low on basics: toilet paper, coffee, and those little dark chocolate sea salt caramels. Mary loves married people stuff. I was sitting in the Costco parking lot scrolling Spotify, trying to find that podcast Carl recommended on investment strategies. I tapped Connect without thinking. Normally, it would sync to my car's Bluetooth, but this time it connected to Mary's Highlander. That was weird. Her car should have been miles away. Her book club meets across town at Rita's. Before I could disconnect, I heard laughter. Through my phone. Mary's laugh. The real one, genuine, loose, touched by wine, then a man's voice. Dylan. My best friend since college. I froze. Podcast forgotten. My finger hovered over the disconnect button, but I didn't move. He seriously has no idea, Mary said, amused and just tipsy enough to be careless. Brian thinks I'm at book club right now. Dylan laughed. And he thinks I'm at that finance conference in Cleveland. Man, he's always been so trusting. Remember when we almost got caught at your sister's wedding? That was close, Dylan said. It won't matter soon, Mary continued. Once he signs the house over for the tax benefits, we'll have everything we need to start our new life, without that pathetic fool. They both laughed at me, at how stupid I was, at how easily they'd fooled me. What's the timeline? Dylan asked. 3 months, max. My advisor says the capital gains exemption works best if we wait until after tax filing. Brian already thinks it makes sense to put the house in my name because of my self-employment situation. God, he's so clueless about money. 3 months, 97 days, until our next tax appointment, one she had helpfully scheduled with her trusted advisor. I sat there in the Costco parking lot, completely still. I don't know how long I stayed, just listening, processing, numb. They talked about their future together, how they'd been seeing each other for 2 years behind my back, how Dylan had been playing the loyal friend while sleeping with my wife, how Mary had been siphoning money from our joint account into a separate one. My hands shook so badly I dropped my phone. The connection cut, and I sat there, staring, breathing, trying not to vomit. 11 years of marriage, a lifetime, of friendship, gone. I don't know how I drove home. I remember sitting in the driveway for 45 minutes, scrolling through photos on my phone. The three of us, smiling at barbecues, on fishing trips, at Dylan's birthday party where he toasted to friendship. The rage came in waves. First, hot, then cold, then hotter. I wanted to explode, trash the house, call everyone, confront her. But then something in me clicked. They called me a pathetic fool. They thought they'd won, that they were smarter than me. They had a plan. Now, so did I. The list. Do not confront Mary or Dylan yet. Document everything. Dates, times, conversations. Check joint finances and credit reports. Find a lawyer, someone they don't know. Secure personal items and documents. Act completely. Normal. Hardest part. That night, I created a new Proton Mail account, downloaded Signal on an old phone, started recording every conversation, took screenshots of bank accounts, credit cards, emails. When Mary got home around 9 p.m., slightly wine-flushed and smelling like unfamiliar cologne, I was sitting on the couch watching Ozark. Hey, I smiled. How was book club? Oh, good. We're reading that bestseller everyone's talking about. She didn't even name a book. Nice. I ordered pizza since I got home late. There's some in the fridge. She looked disappointed. Maybe she expected a fight, a confrontation. Instead, I kissed her cheek and went back to my show. The next day, I called in sick. After she left for work, I searched the house. I found her hidden phone in her workout bag, found a second bank account with nearly $40,000 in it, found a folder of printed emails with Dylan hidden in a tampon box. Seriously? I photographed everything, put it all back perfectly. That afternoon, I met with Arlene, a divorce attorney someone on Reddit had recommended when I posted, hypothetically, about a friend's situation. She was blunt. Don't show your hand. The moment they know you know, they'll move fast. You need to be 10 steps ahead. So I waited. 97 days. Every morning I woke up next to the woman planning to destroy me. Every weekend, Dylan texted me to hang out, watch the game, be best buds. I smiled, played dumb, documented everything. I said yes. Sitting there with Dylan, drinking beers, watching the game, pretending nothing was wrong, even as he smiled at his phone, reading a message from Mary in the next room. I became the perfect husband. I fixed things around the house without being asked. Bought Mary flowers for no reason. Suggested we update our wills and financial plan. Just to be smart, I said, which conveniently gave me access to even more of our financial records. I even brought up the house transfer myself. I read this article, I said casually, about tax benefits for self-employed folks. Might be smart to put the house in your name. Mary's eyes lit up. She tried to hide her excitement. That sounds like a great idea. My financial advisor mentioned something similar. We should look into it. The pieces were falling into place. Their pieces. Or so they thought. Meanwhile, I was building something else entirely, with Arlene, my attorney, my co-conspirator. I moved small amounts of money into a separate account they didn't know about. I documented every lie, every late night at work, every business dinner that was actually a date between my wife and my best friend. I found their Google Photos album. Yep, an entire digital scrapbook of their affair. Vacations, dinner selfies, hotel beds. There was even a shared Spotify playlist called Us, full of songs about secret love and fresh starts. The gall. I found hotel receipts, restaurant bills, emails, and screenshots of their text conversations where they laughed at how clueless I was. Every night I swallowed my rage and played my part. I listened to Mary talk about her day, knowing half of it was fiction. I texted Dylan about fantasy football. I acted excited about our upcoming fishing trip. I downloaded their entire text history from Mary's old iPad. She thought she'd wiped it clean. Pro tip, check your iCloud settings, people. I recorded their phone calls when they thought I wasn't around. Had Carl from work help me recover deleted files from our home computer. The hardest part wasn't the lies. It was pretending to be normal around everyone else. When my brother Andrew asked if everything was okay, I almost told him everything. I almost broke. Instead, I smiled and said I was just stressed about work. Changed the subject to the new deck project. The days crawled by. Some nights I lay awake next to Mary, watching her sleep, and thought about throwing it all away, just confronting them, just ending it. But then I'd remember the laughter, the way they called me a pathetic fool, and my resolve would harden again. Day 75. Mary brought up the tax appointment. Said we should bring the house paperwork with us. I nodded and smiled. Day 89. Dylan invited me to his cabin for a guy's weekend right after the tax appointment. A celebration, no doubt. Day 3, final meeting with Arlene. All my pieces were locked in. Day 96, dinner with Mary's sister Rita. Mary was glued to her phone all night, presumably texting Dylan. Rita asked if everything was okay between us. Before I could speak, Mary jumped in. We've never been better. And then, day 97, the day of the tax appointment, the day they thought their scheme would come together. But I had my own appointment that morning, and it wasn't with their tax advisor. I'll post the full update tomorrow. For now, my phone hasn't stopped buzzing. 42 missed calls and counting. Stay strong, brothers. Update 1. First off, holy shot. Didn't expect my post to blow up like that. Wrap my inbox to answer the top questions. Yes, this is real. No, I'm not writing a script, and yes, I have receipts, lots of them. Those 97 days were a special kind of hell. People keep asking how I managed to keep it together. So here's how. The morning after. I woke up feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. For 30 seconds, I thought maybe it was a nightmare. Then Mary rolled over, kissed my cheek, and asked if I could pick up her dry cleaning. Dry cleaning she probably wore on dates with Dylan. I smiled, said sure. Then went to the bathroom and threw up. That became my new normal. Acting fine on the outside, dying inside. I downloaded a mood tracking app someone on Reddit recommended, mostly rage entries at first. FML, burn everything, that kind of thing. Day 7, Operation Don't Be a Pathetic Fool began. Step 1, Intel. I set up a hidden folder in Google Drive with a documentation system that would make conspiracy theorists jealous. Timestamps, location discrepancies, meetings that didn't exist, screenshots of everything. Mary disabled her. Location on Instagram, but forgot we were on the same T-Mobile plan. I could see her GPS data anyway. Big mistake. Huge. Day 12, second meeting with Arlene. She gave me 3 options. Scorched earth, clean break, quiet revenge. I chose option 4, calculated justice. We started assembling the legal and financial framework to protect my assets while building the perfect case. Turns out Mary's secret account wasn't legally protected. She'd siphoned nearly $40,000 over 18 months, $200 here, $300 there, money meant for our future. Day 15. Dylan invited me over to catch the game. I wanted to punch him in the throat. Instead, I texted, "Sure, sounds great." I went to his place, sat on the same couch where I'd seen photos of him and Mary cuddling. He ordered pizza, handed me a beer, started telling me about some girl he was casually seeing, a fake girlfriend, to throw me off. The audacity. While he was in the bathroom, I planted a USB voice recorder under the coffee table. Not proud of it, but desperate times. Day 23. I started leaving my phone in obvious places, appearing distracted, classic bait. And sure enough, I caught Mary scrolling through my phone twice. Joke's on her. That phone had a decoy trail, searches about capital gains exemptions, transferring a house to a spouse, and tax benefits for married homeowners. All planted, all fake. My real communications with Arlene, hidden on a separate burner phone buried in the bottom of my gym bag. Mary found exactly what I wanted her to find. She thought she was slick, too, putting my phone back in the exact same position, not realizing she was dancing in the trap I'd set. Day 30. I hit a low point. Spent my entire lunch break sitting in my car in the Target parking lot, just staring. I nearly pulled the plug on everything. The constant lying, the pretending, the exhaustion. It was eating me alive. I texted my brother Andrew, asked if he wanted to grab a beer after work. Didn't tell him anything specific, just that Mary and I were going through some stuff. He could tell something was off, but he didn't push. He just listened, kept the beers coming. That one night of breathing around someone who wasn't trying to screw me over, it saved me more than I realized. Day 42. Mary suggested having Dylan over for dinner. I said sure. Let's invite Madison too. Her friend, the one I always suspected, knew about the affair. Mary froze for half a second before recovering. Oh, She's probably busy. Already texted her, I said. She's free. Mary smiled through gritted teeth. She had no choice now. Dinner was a masterclass in awkward. Dylan kept inventing excuses to help Mary in the kitchen. Madison kept shooting me these weird, almost sympathetic looks. I pretended not to notice any of it, kept everyone's wine glasses full. 3 bottles in, Madison got loose. And when Mary and Dylan went outside for a smoke break, neither of them smokes, by the way, Madison leaned over and whispered, "Are you really okay with everything?" I played dumb. Let my eyes go wide. "What are you talking about?" She looked confused, realized I didn't know, at least not officially, then backpedaled, hard, knocked over her wine glass in the process, confirmed everything. When I walked her to her Uber, I asked a few innocent questions. How long have Mary and Dylan been so close? Her guilty expression told me all I needed to know. Day 50. I created a fake email trail, pretending I had a sizable bonus, coming from work. Left the browser tab open accidentally on our shared iPad. Within hours, Mary casually started asking questions. Anything exciting happening at work? I told her maybe a bonus in the next few months. She smiled, said we should use it to renovate the bathroom. The same bathroom she was probably planning to use with Dylan once I was out of the picture. I smiled. That sounds perfect. Day 63. Mary left her Apple Watch charging in the bathroom. A notification popped up. Miss you already, Dylan. They were literally counting down the days. I took a photo, added it to my ever-growing evidence folder, then went downstairs and made Mary her favorite breakfast, blueberry pancakes, with a smiley face. She ate them while texting him back. That night, I sat up in bed, gasping like I'd had a nightmare. "What's wrong?" Mary asked. "I dreamed you were leaving me," I said. She held me, promised she'd never do that, said, "We're forever." I let her comfort me while I stared at the ceiling, counting down in my head. 34 more days. Day 71. I ran into Rita, Mary's sister, at the grocery store. She barely made eye contact. So Mary had been laying the groundwork, telling her family the marriage was falling apart, painting me as the problem. Rita made some snide comment about how Mary deserves to be happy. I just smiled, asked how her kids were doing. Kill them with kindness, right? Day 75. Carl from work invited me to happy hour. I almost declined, then realized I needed to keep up appearances, stay normal. Over drinks, I finally told Carl I was dealing with some personal stuff. That's when he became the MVP I didn't know I needed. Turns out Carl's weekend side hustle? Data recovery. When I mentioned needing help with some deleted files, he didn't ask questions, just nodded. Day 82. My body started showing cracks, chest pains, shortness of breath, trouble sleeping. Dr. Google said it was panic attacks. I downloaded a meditation app, tried to follow along with the soothing voice telling me to let go of anger. Instead, I used those quiet sessions to brainstorm more revenge moves. The irony wasn't lost on me. Day 85. Mary brought home paperwork. We should update our life insurance policies. She'd already filled in her section, removed me as her beneficiary, replaced me with her sister Rita. I said nothing, accidentally spilled coffee on the forms a few minutes later. Oops. Guess we'll need new ones. Day 88. I found their shared Amazon wish list. It was titled New Place. Everything from furniture to kitchen appliances, things they planned to buy together, with money they siphoned from me. Even worse, some of the items were things I'd once wanted for our home. Mary had vetoed them back then. Apparently, my taste was perfect for her future. Just not with me. Day 90. Just 7 days left, and they had no idea the countdown wasn't just theirs. It was mine, too.